Well, hi, I'm Rod Stevens.
I'm Derfel Calderon.
Wolf.
And I'm Londell Paz. Myself and the rest of the crew here want to thank you for tuning into our channel.
If you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe buttons.
Feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks again, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Woof, woof.
What he said.
Our travelers continue to benefit from the hospitality of their new Varga friend, convenience store owner Susumu, and prep for the climb up Mount Salabri. A short visit to the local fisheries union proves productive, as the foreman, Mr. Palvador, after speaking with Alan Greener, the Minister of Off-World Affairs, Public Relations, Fisheries, and the Department Fire Chief of Capital City, offers to help the travelers in any way he can. This includes the use of a small single-seated heliocopter owned by one of the locals, Rudy Blue. Upon close inspection, the travelers quickly learn that the copter is not in working order and do their best to rectify the situation.
Don't worry, our mechanics are experts.
After several hours of work, the heliocopter repairs are completed, and bravely, Rod Stevens sets off for Mount Salabri for a reconnaissance run. The flight is not successful. Stranded alone on the mountain, Rod awaits rescue by the rest of his team. A welcome lift from their friend Susumu, the remaining group travel to the base of the mountain and begin their ascent. It is not an easy climb, but the group makes good time and shy of a few hundred meters from where Rod is located, unexpectedly decides to make camp, delaying the rendezvous until the morning. It is then when Rod Stevens confronts one of the most frightening creatures on Walston. But the encounter is little more than a poorly designed distraction by the GM, adding neither suspense, tension, or value to the story. A few hours climb and the travelers are reunited. They continue up the mountain, one excruciating meter at a time. That is until the travelers reach an almost impassable section of the mountain. An ancient lava flow has created a deep and treacherous ravine. They cannot turn back. This is the only way forward. The travelers must use both mental ingenuity and physical ability to solve this challenge. Failure would mean certain death.
This is so exciting!
Well, it's really not that exciting, as the travelers have absolutely no problem crossing the ravine. It was really just but then they reach the peak of Mount Salabri, only to find the Perseverance abandoned by their previous crew and now stranded in the center of the volcano's crater.
These guys are assholes.
They may be assholes, but will our travelers successfully reach the Perseverance? Can they fix the ship and get off this desolate planet? Will Fenrir ever decide on a costume? I don't know, but let's find out.
Last thing, where do y'all like to jerk off? Is there a specific corner?
I did that job for 16 years before that cocksucker, I don't know his name yet.
That is a slim down guy.
You sure about that?
No, like legit. Like we're teasing you a little. Well, I mean,
When you do that.
Hey there, how are ya? It's been a long time. It seems like we've come a long way. But my, how we learn so slow. And heroes, they come and
as we last left our protagonists, they were essentially on the outer lip of this crater looking down. Again, you've got this area that runs probably a few hundred meters down into the crater itself. In this inner zone, up to this lake, the soil is pretty much desolate. There's a very thin, scrubby grass and waist-high bushes. Nothing really of significance, but that's what the green area represents, is these sort of areas of bush. The lake itself is more or less in the center of the crater. It's about 500 meters in diameter. It's roughly circular. You see that there's an island about 100 meters in diameter in the center of the lake. And you can see, sure enough, from where you're seeing, at least there's a ship sitting there that you're assuming is the Perseverance. It is the afternoon. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if I recall. So it's quite bright out and quite nice out. But nevertheless, the other thing I want to make note is that the number 3, all the various little dots that you see around this, these are lava tubes. And they kind of all exist sort of on the outer zone. And so you guys are basically standing at the peak looking down on this crater.
Does it look like it is easier descent than it was, safe descent, I should say, than the ascent?
Yes. Yeah. When you look down, you can see that the descent looks fairly easy. There's a number of different ridges that you can travel to make it fairly easy for you, but you definitely don't need the extent of the gear and the ropes to kind of make it down. It's just a bit of a haul.
Look, Fenrir Dahl sees a path we could take right there.
Yeah, I'll handle the majority of the lifting here, gentlemen. I feel real bad that you had to carry all this all the way up here by yourselves.
Oh, do you, Rod?
No, I truly
Seems
do.
to me somebody could have made their way downhill and helped.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Then I'd be backtracking.
Oh, I see your point.
I was already up here.
What are lava, like when I hear lava tube, I'm not sure what that means. But it seems like it's something that in my head, that we can get inside and walk through.
Make an education check there.
It's not what I need.
Because I happen to be an expert on lava tubes before we started this game.
Education.
Sure.
So, okay. So I'm just going to roll what? 2d6?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 2d6 plus 0.
Yeah. All right. So basically what you know of lava tubes is what I now know of lava tubes. These are areas of a volcano in which the molten, the magma makes its way out of. So if you think about some of those photos that you might have seen of like active volcanoes in Hawaii, where the lava is just sort of kind of pouring out of, those are lava tubes. The only difference in a volcano that is not active, those lava tubes harden and they make tunnels under the lava. For example, hang on one second.
Are we near any of these?
Here's an example of one.
So that's very pretty.
Yeah, this is a lava tube. Yeah, they're kind of a tourist site too, I guess. But this is example of a lava tube. Obviously, artificial light, but nevertheless. And so, in this particular case, you may see something similar to this. But no, these lava tubes are sort of on the bottom because they start from the bottom of the crater, and kind of go further down. So when the lava explodes, it sort of makes its way back. It makes its way back up. So being on the ridge where you guys are at, no, you're not close to any of these lava tubes.
Okay. I was thinking maybe to get underneath the water, we could take the tubes to go underneath, but it doesn't sound like that's a plan. So it looks like this water is our first obstacle. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could get down to the water and kind of maybe figure out if it's boiling, if it.
Are we anywhere near one of these lava tubes?
No, I mean, you'd have to go down
the ridge still. I think you're just kind
But we could pass by one. Perhaps we should see if there is hot air coming out of one of these, which would indicate perhaps that we have
Lava.
a,
The tube.
an active situation.
Yeah, let's just swing. We'll just swing by the lava tubes on the way down.
Yeah,
Fine by me.
Okay. Well, you guys.
I need to mark my territory anyway.
You guys begin to make your way down into the crater, and about halfway down, the first thing you notice is sort of the pebbles around you begin to roll down the hill.
Well, you muted yourself.
Does the ground seem unstable?
Sorry. So this mic has got a weird little mute button, but nevertheless, I was saying, as you guys make your way down the mountain, you start to see around you. You immediately notice that the pebbles are sort of like vibrating a little bit as you feel a tremor.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's a small sort of wavy kind of a feeling and it lasts maybe about a long 10 seconds. And the pebbles just kind of come around. But if you recall the conversation that you were having with Alan Greena, and as well, I think maybe Susumu might have mentioned it as well. There has been report of tremors and noises coming from Mount Salabri, which is why they really wanted you guys to come here and do the survey.
This does not sound good.
I did not like the feel of that one bit.
No, I remember I've only felt 2, and they were freaky as hell.
Just want you to know I detected it about 30 seconds before you.
He said, I was going to say.
And you can also smell cancer on Rocky.
That's why he's lying.
Smells like rotten eggs.
And STDs.
The good thing is no other Vargar are going to be up this mountain. So all that you see and can spray is yours.
It's mine. This is mine. That is mine. And that over there is mine too. Well, how are we going to get across this water?
So do me a favor. Let's make some recon checks, please.
Let's make recon checks. Indeed.
I don't really have good recon, so I think that's
Oh,
up to
you
you
know
guys.
who does here. Fenrir Dahl.
+1 on my recon again.
Well, +0.
Shit.
Shall I roll, or do we all roll?
You can everybody and anyone can roll.
Oh,
Okay.
excellent.
Oh wow, 4. for
Well,
me.
you're obviously distracted by the recent tremor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Lawndale, you are choosing not to roll.
You know what? I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I'll just roll because I think it's a -3, so I guess I could get lucky.
You could also
You could roll better
save your
than
die roll for something
Hold on.
special. Oh, of course, he burns a beautiful die roll.
So that's
Right.
-3.
So as you guys make your way down the ridge, and you can see the Perseverance and the island that's in the middle of the lake. Again, you're only, at this point in time, maybe about 400 meters out, so it's not that far. But you can see that there's around the Perseverance itself, it appears to be debris of some type. Like just crates and that type of thing that's kind of like right around there.
Looks like those assholes may have looted it.
These guys.
How do you think they got out of here?
Oh yeah. I mean, why did they even leave it here in the first place? Let alone how they got it. This makes no sense.
This is all the discussion we are having on the way as we walk.
Fair enough. And as you're having this conversation, Derfel reminds you that the last reported sighting of the Iduku brothers is that they arrived on an air raft
Yeah.
into the starport.
They just flew out of here.
So
There was probably an air raft on the ship. They just took off.
Yeah, fuckers.
Well,
I'm guessing.
Go ahead, Rod.
No, I'm just guessing the current placement of the ship merely denotes the amount of assholery that is
Agreed.
inside the Dooku brothers.
Great. And I think they got in financial trouble, and better to abandon the ship than be held responsible is their plan. A bunch of assholes, I think we have determined for sure.
Major.
But you know what? Those assholes mean we're gonna get a ship
I hope so.
Yeah, and as you guys
for Lawndale.
continue to have this conversation, it takes you a couple hours to get down to the ridge. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now at this point. You make it down to sort of the flat area where the brushers are, and sure enough, you can, as you go down there, we're just saying you guys are going straight from south to north. You get down there, and you can kind of get a sense of these lava tubes, and you can look inside. You should see that right now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you can see in the lava tube, and there is some standing water that's there. Larger puddles of water. It's not a river or a stream or anything. It's just sort of pools of water. Some are small, some are quite large, and there is a difference in the air temperature outside of the lava tubes, but it's not uncomfortable. But you can certainly notice that there is a difference in the air temperature.
Which way, colder or warmer?
Warmer.
It's warmer near the tubes.
Probably pushing out.
Yes.
Let us hurry this up a little bit. We took a long time climbing that mountain, and I think we may have wasted some valuable time.
Who has a decent sensor skill?
That would be Fenrir Dahl.
It's always Fenrir Dahl.
I think I'm the sensor.
I think you took sensor. I think you took sensor in our group pick.
Yep, I did. I have it at +1.
Nice.
You want sensor roll?
I do.
Okay.
Sensor roll, rock and roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. So you look at the lava tubes, and you can and the rest of the lava tubes that are sort of scattered about, and your understanding of sensors leads you to believe that these lava tubes rather can be very helpful for you once you start doing the job of mapping out this mountain. Okay. You feel that you can, with the properly placed explosives and sensors deep within these lava tubes and set off at a right time, you're pretty comfortable that you can get a decent reading of what's going on with this mountain, including creating essentially a 3D model of the interior.
Right.
You think you can handle the job, Fenrir?
Fenrir thinks we would need to lay out explosives down there, over there, and over there to get a good map situation. Does Fenrir feel that does this need to be done in advance, or can we, is it something we would shoot? The explosives that we have, what are they?
You don't have any explosives.
Oh, that's right. We thought we would get them on the ship.
Right. But one of the sensors that you have on board is a descensometer, which will help determine sort of internal structure and the makeup of an object. And and it's able to do that through the just through measuring gravity. But you kind of need a little bit of extra oomph. So in lieu of explosives, you may be able to use the various probes that are on the ship,
right?
If they're still there.
And if those fail, what we could do is point Lawndale's ass down one of the tubes and pull his finger.
That actually might be our first option. That's probably really effective.
The massive reverberations that we have heard on this trip will then allow us to map the interior, much like this planet's colon.
Lawndale's different from me. I am not Lawndale. Lawndale has a clean vegan diet, right? He has high spiritual beliefs about his body's a temple, and you consume things to help you.
Mhm.
Not
He doesn't
trash.
eat bacon. He doesn't eat bacon.
Doesn't eat bacon.
I've eaten about 16 of these little rodent things, so I think I'll be able to handle.
Okay, we use Rod instead.
So okay,
I think we need to get to ship as
Yeah.
quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Or rather,
Yeah, let's keep
all
moving.
thinks we need to get to ship as quickly as possible.
Amen.
All right, so you guys can make it through to the, as we're sort of going over, I'm gonna just switch here this back to the ship map. You guys then can continue your way to the shore. So you're about, 100 meters out, standing on the shore of the lake. And you can now see the Perseverance quite clearly. And yeah, sure enough, it looks like the debris that you noticed from on top of the ridge is basically containers and God knows what else that was probably in this ship that has been brought out.
Ransacked.
But as you're standing there, the one thing you notice that's quite, now you didn't notice it before, but you notice it now because you're standing right on the shore, is you see that amongst the scattered debris, there's a canine of some type. And it appears to be pulling at the carcass of something on the ground.
This is a cross on the island.
Yes. Yep. This is on the island. This canine is thin. Its fur is matted. In some areas, you can see dried blood. The carcass itself that this dog is pulling at has been stripped clean. So every time you can see the bones and the old skin that are on it, but the dog continues to sort of pull at it and sort of biting the skin and pulling at the skin. The most interesting thing of all, however, is every time this dog continues pulling, every now and then it seems to phase in or out. So it kind of disappears. It becomes invisible, but it's almost for just like a blink. And it would look very similar to kind of like how the predator would sort of phase in and out. And it happens particularly when it like pulls back on the carcass. It disappears for a couple of seconds and then it phases back in, pulls back and you're watching this thing kind of tear at this. Again, everything that probably was inside the Perseverance looks like it's been dumped outside. As you guys are watching this canine, it notices the four of you. It stops. It looks up. It takes an interesting posture and
snarls a bit.
It doesn't snarl so much in that its head drops
100 yards away.
It's 100 meters. Its head drops, shoulders kind of go up, the tail kind of goes under, and it basically kind of like stalks. Not stalks, but sort of like goes back and forth as it watches you. An occasional sort of like leap on its feet, and then every time it kind of jumps up a little bit, it sort of flashes out and it comes back, and it looks, very nervously. It starts pacing back and forth as you guys are on the other side of the lake.
This could be a pet left behind. It's possible.
Yeah.
How did it get on the island out here?
Well,
I mean,
the island is
I'll
not
go.
particularly big.
I think that might give us a good inkling that the water's safe enough to swim, or maybe that disappearing thing's magic.
Rod, listen.
There's
no such thing as magic.
Oh,
remove my thumb.
there's space magic
Uh,
out there in the deep blackness of space. There are
No.
things that cannot be explained.
I'm gonna smell the water of the that the island's on. Like, does it give any particular odor or anything that I wouldn't expect, like high alkaline or
Well, it's your acute senses, your schnoz. It's sort of high in mineral
Yeah,
mineral
usually.
content, but nothing nothing out of the unusual. Certainly nothing that would smell dangerous or anything like that.
Okay. And using recon, I'd like to look around this side and see if I see any tracks or anything.
Yep. Go ahead.
100 meters. I'm going to get out my calculator and find out how long that is in people terms.
About 300 feet.
Oh, perfect.
Fenrir has inspected the area quite well.
No, you don't really see anything outside of the occasional Walston rodent that kind of jumps by.
There goes your lunch, Rod.
Oh, I'm still quite full.
No. All right.
But after this swim, I'll probably get hungry.
That's 100 yards swim.
It's like a football field.
100-meter swim.
Like
Yeah, about a football.
300.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing, guys.
Oh, is that nothing?
Yeah.
Fully
Listen,
clothed with equipment.
Well,
I could swim over there and just kind of see how things are.
there's about it.
How much rope do we have?
We got a lot of rope.
Do we have 100 meters of rope?
Easy.
Fenrir is carrying.
Well, okay, we have all of that climbing equipment,
Yes.
you know,
Grapnel cable. I have that.
and somehow the survival kit doesn't have rope. But we
Survival
did pick
kit.
up some rope from the I want to say the liquor store. It wasn't a liquor store. But so
Like a
we have
boat.
rope, and then we have climbing
was a
gear that has rope
bodega.
in it. Yeah. So I think all of us are relatively healthy. That, you know what, the swim shouldn't be too hard, but you're right, the gear is going to be the issue. But yeah, I think maybe get a little recon team over there, check it out, and maybe there's something useful on that end that we could use. Who's going for a dip?
If the cases that the gear is in are waterproof, they might be buoyant.
Yeah,
So
let's
I
try
said-
that out. What do you think, Ed?
Can
That's
we?
what I said that.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Sorry.
last
no,
time.
I did
But
not
no.
hear you.
No. That was last time. That was
Okay.
last session. So use it like
Oh.
a cooler and use your stick to kind of paddle your way through.
Well, I don't know about that, but if it's sealed, we could push it ahead or
Yeah, we could check the buoyancy.
Yeah,
we
let's
check the buoyancy.
check.
I'm gonna
that
check.
buoyancy.
I'm gonna grab one of those cases and kind of put it into the water.
And throw it
If
50
it,
yards.
if, it start,
into the
no,
water.
if it starts to sink, I'm gonna keep holding on to it.
It doesn't start to sink. I mean, it doesn't stay afloat upright like a boat or anything. It kind of
Right.
just, it sort of lifts to the side, but they seem perfectly watertight.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking, Darfell.
That's doable.
I say we take a swim across. I see no other way to get across. If anyone else sees no other way to get across.
All that bush is useless. You know,
All right, Rod's gonna start lashing these together, make kind of a
Here's
like
some
a-
rope, Rod.
pontoon, like a pontoon boat.
Yeah, that I could like kick and push across
Or you
like a
no,
kickboard.
tie rope around it and tie rope around your waist and drag it out there.
Okay.
How about we all let's how about we just lash it all together,
Yes.
and then we can all use that as our little a little, I don't know what you call it, like water wings.
I once saw a holovid where they did this. It was after a giant ocean
job.
creature attacked people on a boat.
Oh, with Space Tom Hanks?
It was Space Richard Dreyfuss.
I thought it was Space Leonardo DiCaprio, but
We're all talking about 3 different movies.
We are. I was talking about I think it was called Teeth.
Mine was Joe versus the volcano.
Oh,
All right. So
mine was Space Jaws.
who's in the water?
All right, I'm gonna get in the water.
if we lash all the crates together, and we can all use that as kind of a little bit of a buoy as we go through.
Yeah. Pushing it ahead of us.
But
All
you're,
of us.
but you're still in the water. Keep in mind the biggest crate is about the size of an igloo container.
Yep.
So is there? So the crew jumps in the water.
I will swim out ahead. I will let them use the thing. I'm gonna make a swim ahead.
You can dog paddle. It's
So-
your race.
It's a simple sort of paddle across. So no need for an athletic checks or anything like that. But you find that it's quite shallow for a while, and then eventually it gets over your head and requires you to
Actually swim.
swim across. And as you get closer to the shore, the other side, you pick up the ground pretty early, and you start to wade in.
It's not so deep, guys.
As you're doing this, Fenner, the dog that's on the other side does start now sort of visibly and verbally, or whatever a dog does, starts barking and sort of growling a little bit, and then kind of runs back, but then runs forward, but then sort of takes a defensive position, but then looks like it's going to be quite aggressive. And every now and then that it does this, it sort of again phases in and out on you.
Fenrir
weird.
is
That's
going
weird.
to draw his dagger out of his boot, but he's also going to try to calm the animal.
Well, inside our survival kit, there are some rations. So maybe I grab some
It's good
and
thinking.
I hand them up, and maybe that might be useful.
That is good thinking. I will toss the rations out towards the dog or creature, and I talk to it in a calm voice.
Right. So you throw the rations at the dog, or
Well,
you hang on?
in its direction. Yeah. I'm not like hucking it at him.
Yeah. So you
Pegging them.
So you toss these rations over,
Yeah.
and at first the dog kind of runs away a little bit, but then very sort of with a lot of trepidation, it very slowly kind of goes up. It takes these rations, and it just kind of paws at it, kind of breaks it open, takes it, and just sort of kind of runs away with it.
Okay.
So running behind the ship, but in doing so, it just completely phases out.
Mikey
Okay.
likes it.
Huh?
Question: Do the rations phase with it?
Good
question.
question. They don't.
Oh,
You kind of see a
rations.
little
Okay,
baggie of rations on one.
I will. Fenrir will pull out his rations too, just to have them ready to throw if necessary.
This is weird. This is strange. It makes me think because
It is not strangest thing Fenrir has seen.
the thing is like, all right, the Vargur are a species of canines who were uplifted by an ancient and all-powerful alien species. Right? That's the story. That's what they are. But this volcano is sacred because this is where they said that all Vargar came from.
Mhm.
And if this thing is phasing in and out, this is making me think that this could be a memory of the uplifted Vargar. I don't know. I'm tripping out a little bit.
Yeah,
Well,
space magic.
Well,
Fenrir
who's
thinks
on the?
That is bullshit.
Fenrir, you're very close to the shore at this point.
Yes, Fenrir, maybe 5-6 feet from shore.
Yeah. So make another recon check for me.
Will do, boss.
Yeah. So as you get closer again, you notice a lot of debris that's been sort of scattered around. And what makes it worse, it appears that this canine or an animal has been kind of raking through the debris, possibly
right.
looking for food. You notice that on the carcass itself, it's clearly a canine carcass that's been pulled and
Oh,
stripped.
that it's torn apart.
Yeah. You can now see the skull. It's a canine skull, but the carcass still has on it a collar with a tag.
This is what Fenrir was going to ask. Did other animal have collar on as well?
No one noticed that.
I will next time thing appears. I will take a special note of that.
What's
I
the
think
doc-
I
what's
maybe
his name?
These may have been either something that were being transported and abandoned, or some kind of pet.
That's quite possible.
Who else?
Well,
Who else is on the shore, and who else is on the lake at this point?
He went ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
but I
coming
think
up.
everybody should be able to catch
yeah,
up.
but by this time we'll be hauling up all the equipment,
Yeah.
untying it, getting it orderly. Then Ross will say, "Well, I'm ready to check out the inside of that ship."
All right. So as you guys kind of walk around, you can see the type of debris now. You're pretty clear that you can see the type of debris. You've got the dog carcass there. There are a number of different crates that contain air filters and gears and the small tools and all this sort of stuff, all belonging to a ship. At this point it's all part of the Perseverance. You also notice it appears that these guys just took whatever was in the ship and threw it outside. And I think Fenrir probably said it best. These guys are assholes. And what they were basically, you get a real sense of what they were trying to do is to just make life miserable for everyone. Whoever got the ship, they were going to make it miserable for, because there's even some of the most minute items that would be in a ship have been sort of.
If they can't have it, nobody can.
I need everybody to make recon checks for me one more time, please.
All right, let's see what's going on.
I want to know the name of the dog. Is there a name on the dog collar, by the way?
Yeah, there is.
Question.
Bugsby. There is a collar. The carcass has a collar by the name of Bugsby.
Bugsby. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Bugsby. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6.
Yep.
Roll a 6.
Ready, roll.
Anybody else got recon?
I didn't see my dice.
Oh, did you? What was your roll?
No.
See your dice either.
I rolled a 6. But I think I have a +1.
Yeah. So Rod, as you kind of make your way,
So 7.
you notice that literally they threw everything out as well, in terms of what would be in the kitchen or anything. So cups, your coffee cups are out there. They're broken. There's silverware out there, and you see that there are three metal bowls that are laying in the dirt. Each are marked with a name. One of them is marked Bugsby, the other one is Dell, and the other one is Sparky. And you also see that you're missing.
I'm gonna begin gathering up everything, kind of organizing what's out here into like-minded piles, just so we can be a little more efficient.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm gonna take one of the bowls, which I'm gonna just call them dog bowls at this point. I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna put the rations I have in that bowl.
I like that.
Okay.
So Rod's gonna make his way. Oh, I'm sorry, Londell. What were you gonna do?
Because Rod's going inside the ship, I'm going to grab the diagnostic tool that we have in the case, because I assume we're going to plug that into the computer and run diagnostics. So that's what I want to do.
Okay. All right. So you, before you do that, Rod, you go up to the ship, and all the hatches are closed. There's really just only one hatch, a side hatch that's sort of to the port side of the ship. And as you go up, you hit the control panel. The reactor to the ship is powered down. But the batteries themselves are all but drained. So as you kind of start to press the control panel to figure out, it lights up for a second, and it dies out very close after that. You hook up the diagnostics check, the diagnostics system, the machine that you brought with you, and it gives you enough power to sort of get through sort of the hatch itself, but it's going to take some time for you to actually bypass the system. So anyone who has diagnostics or computers,
Who has the
electronic computers, would be the person that would want to do this.
That ain't me.
I think that might be Derfell.
I have a 0. I have 0.
Fenrir Dahl has computers at 0.
So do I.
Either one.
With the education 8.
Yeah, this is going to be a heavy skill day, guys. So this is
What day is not?
So I think this is what
This is all you, Darfell.
Yeah, I think we're all at zeros on electronics. You know what? I'm gonna. You know what we should do? I'm gonna assist him, and we're gonna take our time on this roll.
Okay.
We're gonna take our time.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we get a boon if we take our time?
The
But you
boon
just
shit.
take your time. It makes the
makes the check lower.
easier.
Oh, okay. Just take our time. Here it comes. Electronics.
You need a 4.
Take your time.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
you nailed it.
Take
so-
less time next time.
So you use this diagnostic system to sort of override the hatch system. You're kind of fiddling around. You know it's going to take some time, probably about an hour for you to be able to get through this, because you're actually working off the power of the diagnostics system itself. It's the ship's power is basically kaputs.
Okay.
So in this hour time, what do the rest of you guys would like to do?
I think I'll follow Fenrir's lead and start gathering up and compartmentalizing the things that we can that are scattered around.
Yeah.
Take an assessment of what we got.
Yeah, well, I would like to look for the
well,
see if we have dynamite.
yeah,
or the
we
stuff
have-
for
to
scanning.
go- It will take you. It's your undivided attention is needed to be able to kind of, because you're constantly working this diagnostics and this computer to sort of kind of fix it, make your way through the hatch.
Fenrir Dahl keeps glancing over to see if Darfell's opened the hatch yet as we continue to do this. And Fenrir Dahl is keeping look out for either Dell or what was the other dog? Sparky.
Sparky.
Yep. Well, yeah. So about there is some time as you guys are picking up the debris, and there's definitely some salvageable parts to this.
Let me ask one more question. Have any of you ever heard of Varger whistle?
No.
Yeah, because we can't.
Can't happen.
That
It's
makes
illegal.
sense.
I can't whistle for this dog.
You don't got lips, the right kind of
We
lips.
have lips. I
mean, you have lips, but they're not the right kind. I'm not saying they're the wrong kind.
You know what I'm saying.
It's we get each other.
Right. Okay, please continue.
And so as
I can't whistle either.
As you're looking at various different parts and stuff, you know certainly there are things that are salvageable, and you also do notice that this dog kind of makes its way back, and very slowly it's kind of crouching, hunched over as it sort of crawls up to the metal bowl that you left the last rations, and it very slowly takes the ration from the bowl and it kind of makes its way into a safe area somewhere. But the other thing you do know at this point that it's not necessarily phasing out as much.
Oh, yeah.
What about the collar? Has it got a collar?
Oh, good
Oh,
question.
yes, it does have a collar. Yeah, you can definitely see that there's a collar on this dog now. All right, Defel, you get your little laptop pings, ding, and there is a green light that's lit. You have sufficiently bypassed any security protocol, and the hatch is now available to open.
Cool. I open it.
Okay, you hit a button, and the hatch opens up. And at this point, we need to roll initiative. So this is going to be a 5 plus. This is going to be an 11. All right. So Defel, as the hatch opens, this dog just jumps out. guys. All right. This is our first combat. This dog will go first.
All right.
So let's get our combat section ready to freaking rock and roll, because we've never done anything and we don't want to kill anybody by making any mistakes.
It's a good thing no weapons are allowed on this
Yep.
planet.
Perfect. It's actually perfect that there isn't.
Oh,
So this dog is going to, it's right there. So it is going to attack you. All right. I rolled a very good roll. So this creature is going to bite you.
Okay.
Put up your arm.
For a 3d6.
Okay.
oh,
Perfect.
that kills him. That fucking kills him.
I don't think so.
Probably.
Rod, when it lashes out at you, when it attacks you, it phases out for 2 seconds. Now, would you like to try to dodge, or would you like to dive for cover, or would you
I'm
like
going to attempt to parry
Parry.
this mother trucker.
So you were going to use a melee skill. Okay.
I'm going to inflict my melee skill as a negative DM to the
Yep.
attacker's roll.
So let me roll.
And my melee skill.
Yep. Let me roll mine. Okay. So I have a total now of 10.
And so
That will hit.
I guess I'm minusing 2 off of that as I try to parry.
I guess so. Is that your melee skills, a 2?
Yeah, I'd be rolling at it as a +2 if I rolled it. So
Right. Okay.
because I'm not that good.
So an 8 will still hit then, I guess, right?
Ugh.
The good news is I barely did any damage.
Okay. All right.
What, your armor? What's your armor?
I am not wearing any armor. Not allowed on the
Jesus.
planet.
Christ. These dogs are gonna maul us.
So first I do my endurance, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So once I've completely depleted my endurance, then I move on to
Strength
another
or
physical.
dex?
All right, and then we're going to take another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has torn out my femoral artery, and I am bleeding profusely from my thigh.
But still alive.
And he's ruined my Enviro suit.
Here's the other thing too. What a bunch of assholes. They kill one dog, let the other dog outside eat that dog, and they
Lock
take
the other one
everything
in.
out of the ship and lock one dog in the ship. These
Okay.
aren't just assholes. They're also mean to animals.
Oh, it just
Actually-
means we must hunt them down.
Actually, Lawndale, you realize that these guys are assholes. They didn't kill one of their dogs. They basically left their dogs behind.
And two dogs kill one.
In which one
dog
dog
killed
one
one.
was trapped in the ship, and the other one ate the other dog for survival.
Yeah.
Dick move.
You know,
Big time assholes.
one dog kill one dog. That's an ancient Vargar prophecy, right?
It's gonna-
Lawndale, maybe we should show the dog.
I
Hey.
missed. Woof.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
you
we,
missed.
we showed him the hands. We showed him the hands.
All right. Hack and slash this thing down. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Notice this dog has a collar around its neck. You look at the tag and it says Dell.
Yeah, I told you. Fenrir
But the
adults.
ha-
Dell,
but the
no.
hatch- but the
And
hatch-
Dell does not listen.
The hatch is open.
Let's get in the hatch. Everybody get in the hatch. There is the second animal around. We are just concerned.
You know, I'm gonna grab the dog, the corpse, and throw it on top, like throw it towards the other corpse that's being picked clean.
Good idea.
You know,
Good idea.
and then we'll try to pile in there in that fucking ship.
Fenrir Dahl will move with Lawndale as he does so, just in case next one attacks.
Yep. Hey, Travis, just checking. What did you find out about damage?
So this is what effect means. Effect is the difference of the check versus the target number.
Oh, so if you need a
So-
6 and you roll an 8, it's 2.
So yeah. So what was the target number for the first aid check?
8.
8. So you rolled a 10. So he only was able to heal
You get 2 points back.
2 points.
Which
So
is not
I'll
too bad
take-
immediately, right?
Yeah, I'll take 2 points on my strength.
Yeah, and that takes we won't.
Oh,
do
that does take one dice a
rounds,
minute to
right.
do.
But we'll just say that he does some combat first. aid.
What's interesting about that too, just as a side note, is let's say he wasn't trying to do it right there, but he now had you. We were out of combat, and he said, "I'm gonna take twice as long to do the first aid." Can he lower that to like a 6
Yeah.
or a 4, and then
Yep.
roll and then heal more?
I think so.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because you can always go. I think you pretty much can always go one tier up or one tier higher. to your
Okay.
target.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. So who's going into the ship?
All of us.
Yeah, we're all gonna go into the ship because we're
And then we'll
concerned
try to
about
close the
the
door.
other animal.
Good. Well, congratulations, everyone. And Ed, you can if you want to do a quick med skill check on yourself, I'll do that quick.
Take your time. Take your time, Ed.
All right, taking my time.
Taking my
That lowers it
time.
to a
It's
6.
6 plus. So you get 1 point.
So 2 for myself.
Okay.
Oh,
And
Are you +1 or +2 on that?
Probably
I,
plus.
I
I
got
see.
an 8.
I
got
see.
an
You're going to 8. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's like 2 points, right?
2 points then. If you had an 8, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys close the hatch behind you, and Derfel starts to administer first aid to himself, once you guys are in the ship and close the door, it's basically black inside.
That's why we have lights.
Flashlights, yeah.
And I have green glow sticks as well, which I will crack and toss down
From your latest rave. I love it. So once inside
from
the ship,
safety key.
as you guys click on your lights, just like it was outside, inside the ship, it's even worse. It's a terrible mess. It's dirty. It's messy. Even the counters and the tables are worn and scraped. There's one section
Assholes.
of this ship. You can see that as you guys sort of enter and you make your way, if you're looking at this graphic here, as you kind of make your way through and you look at you go through the hatch or that's in the office, you can see the desk
Two.
there. You can see like multiple cigarette butts burns where somebody was smoking and then like put their cigarette down and it kind of burnt the desk each time that it kind of burnt out. And there's all these like long rows of these cigarette butts. Virtually every access panel is open and components are thrown all over the desk, all over the deck itself. These guys went out of their way to do as much annoying sabotage. Not, I would say sabotage, because sabotage means that there's some sort of intelligence behind it. They just vandalized the place.
Just disregard.
Yeah, just vandalize the place.
I assume the air raft is not there.
So if you make your way down to section 6, yeah, there is no air raft. In fact, as you kind of make your way down, you can see that there's even more damage along the way. They've even taken the air filters out and like smashed those and all that kind
Jesus
of wonderful stuff.
Christ.
So they really have done a number on this ship. Now, you have that diagnostic system, that computer there.
Yeah.
That can certainly help give you an idea outside of the visual damage that's done to the ship, what you would need to do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get some more wine as you guys figure this out.
Now, Rod.
These guys screwed this ship up.
Yeah.
man.
Now, Rod, listen. Let me tell you a little something.
Wait,
You ever heard of an-
I'm sorry.
I know you're woozy, but this might cheer you up. You ever heard of an upper deck?
Upper decker.
Of course, I've heard of an upper deck. That's when you go into the upper deck airlock and you take a shit in it.
Actually, you take a shit in the tank of the toilet.
Yeah.
So each time they flush it, it doesn't
comes
flush
out
with
the
clean water. Yeah, it flushes it with poo water.
It's funny you say that because as you go into the birthing area, you definitely notice a couple of guys have dropped a dookie on a couple of the mats.
I don't think space toilets have upper tanks.
Yeah, it just goes straight out into space, dude.
Goes through
Actually,
a filter system.
It's like a teleportation system. It just goes in. God knows where it goes. It just disappears. No one knows.
Yeah. There's
All
an
right, so,
alien planet just covered in human shit.
Yeah, it just teleports it across this planet to everybody.
It's raining again.
Food from the gods.
So again, you're the same diagnostic system that you use to kind of open the hatch will benefit you here.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it. Well,
I'm gonna go take a look at where the probe drones are typically stored.
Yep.
And see if there's anything worthwhile there. Like, that's what we're gonna need to probably take our survey of the mountain, assuming we get this thing off of the mountain.
So as you go in section number 4 of this ship and you look for the probe drones, they are still intact. You've got 10 of those available to you. Yeah.
Okay.
And
good.
knowing what you know, these things can be rigged to explode. These probe drones can be used a number of different ways, but you can also send them out and just basically detonate them from inside the ship if the ship was running.
Yeah. I'm gonna just start like evaluating all that stuff while they figure out how to get the ship running.
well, while he does that, I would have Durfell run the computer, but I think he's probably busy patching him and Rod up.
Well,
So
no, I
I'll-
think
We've got time. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
it's 1d6 rounds, which is only like I can't remember how much a round is. But no, at this point, the 4 of you are operational.
Okay.
You're just a little beaten up.
Okay, well then I think Durfell needs to plug in the diagnostics
All right.
and see what we're dealing with.
We need another computer check.
And he's gonna take his time. Taking my time, just moving around.
Hold on a second. Why is it?
Go for it.
And I'm gonna help him. So I'm gonna give him a boon.
Hold on a second. This is electronics.
Electronics computers is the skill that would be most beneficial. If not, it's just a electronics check.
You would have had to manually add in
yeah.
computers.
Yeah. I'm at
He's at
plus.
a 0.
Yeah.
Did you grab that boon, dude? I'm giving you a boon.
There's no boon on this one, but
Okay.
nevertheless, he is successful. I just need you to roll a 2d6 in addition to the 7 that you just rolled.
Okay. It's actually it should be an 8, but
Okay.
2d6.
Yep. You're still successful on a 7, but thank you. Okay. All right. So it takes you about 20 minutes to kind of run the diagnostics check. And actually, there's good news, Durfell.
Finally.
The one thing, guys, I'm not recording these dice rolls anymore because it was just too much of a hassle to figure out what time we rolled them. So if you want to just use your character sheets, that's fine now. It's just too much. It'd be nice, but it's just too much. But nevertheless, there's good news as you kind of run your diagnostics. Thank you.
What's the good news?
The good news is my wife just brought me more wine.
Oh,
Good
wow.
news is you got
a-
cancer.
She's got a great ass. So there's So as you run the diagnostics, there's nothing structural. There's no structural damage on the ship, with the exception of life support. But that's really sort of replacing the air filters and various filters. The other good news is that Ed, Derfel, as you're kind of looking at this, you're fairly confident that you have the tools and the spare parts to fix this. In the back of your mind, however, if you cannot find some of these parts, you're going to probably need that 3D printer in order to produce them. But nevertheless, that 3D printer is at the bottom of the mountain at this.
So
point.
there was no 3D printer on the ship.
Hang on one second, guys. I just spilt my wine all over the fucking place.
Man, let me tell that was
And I was so happy.
eye-opening.
My wife brought me. She gave me her wine, so I literally had a.
How you do? How you doing, Doug?
Well, I'm a little disappointed. I look forward to these nights, and then,
I'm
Tragedy strikes.
all
You
right,
know
go-
what, Doug?
Let's continue on.
Yeah, man, I'm having fun.
All right.
This is all good.
All right. So good news is, all right. So Ed, the question was around the 3D printer. All I'm telling you is what Ed has discovered.
Yeah.
Derfel has figured out in that if the 3D printer is not functional on board the ship, you guys may have a problem. But the good news is that if the 3D printer is functional, you have all the tools and all the spare parts that can fix this. You just kind of he needs to continue to figure out what's going on. The first thing of importance is the power needs to be up and running. Once you have power back to the ship, all jobs can be done concurrently, right? Which is also very good because all these jobs are fairly routine, Derfel. Depending on the severity of the damage, it's hard to say right now, but it could possibly be, 6 hours to 6 days. It's hard to tell. At this point, it's a rabbit hole, but it's fixable. And you may learn something that find out something that's a very quick fix, but then learn somewhere else that requires something else, and so on and so on. But the most important, again, as you're going through these diagnostics, what you find out is that power's down. You already know that. Flight controls and navigation need to be repaired. Drive systems, electronic. There's no M drive. There's no J drive. Life support. Again, that's the only piece that's somewhat structural. You've got air filters that are missing, but there's also other things that are going on. And if you recall your discussion with Conseri, your buddy on the starport in Flamorian, you've got to reboot the software. You've got to purge it, and you have to upload new software. Everything else is pretty good. The other thing that you do not really know is in terms of whether or not the ship itself is sealing properly, whether the hatches and the various hard points are actually sealing. But some good things, some good news. So the first thing would be power, though.
Good.
So is it just an electronics roll again?
It is not, actually. So to get power up and running, you need somebody with engineering skill.
I have engineering.
Or some engineering understanding, but you also need someone with computers. And so this is a task chain skill. So first would be engineering to try to get power up and running, and then the computers to get the computers to sort of jump on in line with the ship itself.
Okay, I have engineering +1.
Then yeah, I'll run the electronics roll because I think we're all at basically 0 or less with electronics.
I believe so.
Okay.
9 engineering.
Okay. Go for it.
Now, is this electronics education or intelligence?
Power.
Wait, say it again.
Electronics education or electronics intelligence? I'll just do education.
So first of all, there's not intelligence.
Did you just spill another bottle of wine?
No, I'm just not having. I'm having a fucking night tonight. Blake, INT is intellect. It's not intelligence. So education is the closest thing to intelligence.
Okay. Well, I won't use intellect. Here we go.
Can I assist with this? Because I have electronics at a 0 as well.
Yes.
Okay, so get a boon.
Boon, boon, boom. 7. Yeah, 7.
7. Okay. Okay. Ed, you can try to get these computers back. Oh, whoever's doing the computers can get it back online.
He rolled a 9, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So roll a d6 for me.
Here
Oh,
we go.
okay.
6.
Okay. All right. So it's going to take you late into the evening before power actually jumps online. It's about midnight now, since you guys have gotten to the Perseverance. But power is up and running. And again, so now you can start looking at these various different systems to try to fix. You've got power up and running. The ship is not flyable yet. Your drive systems are not down. So you've got both flight controls and navigation are out. Your drive systems are out. Your life support is down. You got to reboot this ship entirely. And it is now midnight.
Yes.
Well, we have power. We got power. Maybe now we can.
Does that mean the power plant is online now? Like we're not operating off batteries.
No, yes, the power plant is online, but
Okay.
you don't have
Drives and stuff. Yeah.
So the power.
But we're not just sitting here like draining batteries.
no,
power.
no. You're in fact you're up and running, and you're actually charging batteries at this point.
I think we should push through a little bit here.
Okay.
We've had a rough day, but
Things are bound to change.
I'm concerned about the volcano.
Okay. I have
Nope.
J Drive 1.
I have
That means-
M Drive 1.
Well, the other thing I'll mention is as you guys start looking at this sort of thing, not all of these jobs are 100% hands-on, which can allow for some of you or one of you who's not working to do the survey work at the well as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Say that again, Doug.
Yeah. So as Ed and Blake are doing their thing, other folks can also do other things.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the modifying the probes
Okay.
for the appropriate amount that I think I need to do to conduct the survey once we are actually airborne.
Well,
And
so
Ro-
the survey might be kind of difficult to do airborne, but you certainly can. You certainly can.
Oh, really? I would assume we set these things and then get a distance away and can run sensors from the ship at any
Yeah,
distance.
you can. It'll just be challenging because of the distance. Because when you they need to sort of, if you're going to do this, if you want to do this right, those probes are going to have to sort of be placed as far underground as you're able to basically do.
Okay.
All right.
So
But
what
it
I'll
is
do is
possible.
I'll just worry about modifying them. I think in the morning we'll take them down as far as we can.
Hey, Rod, why you have a lot of experience in poop? Why don't you go ahead and clean up all the human poop and all the dog poop from Dell, who has been stuck here over a month, just shitting everywhere?
No, all right.
Fenrir, make a sensors check for me, please.
Yep.
And this is as you start working on these probes.
God damn it.
All right. So the question that I have for you, are you confident
Not-
in your role that you've done what you need to do sufficient to work?
No, I'm going to take some more time here.
Okay, then
and-
stop. Then stop right there. Just roll a d6 for me. All right. So you assume you're going to need at least 7 hours of more work to get these things possibly to where you want them to be.
Okay, we're pretty tired, I would imagine, by this
Yeah,
point, especially the guys who took a lot of damage. We should probably rest for the evening and do this when we can concentrate a little bit. I mean, I'm in a hurry because I'm concerned about the volcano, but
Yeah, I mean, I am too, but
I mean, do you think we could get at least the maneuver drives online so that we could get out of here if we had to? Blake, you're muted.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we can get the maneuver drives up and running, we can just fly this shit down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Work on it if we need to from there.
Yeah.
Also, we need to search around if there's a 3D printer in here. That's another thing we can do before we go to bed.
Okay, I'll search for the 3D printer then instead of doing the sensor stuff. You guys see if you can get the drive, at least the maneuverability drive online.
Yeah,
That way we
M
can get out
drive.
of danger if we need to.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are gonna try to attempt the drive.
Yeah.
M
All right.
drive.
Go for it.
Is that-
An engineer check would do that.
Is that the drive that would be used to?
So both drives are offline. So your maneuver drive, which would be your sort of atmospheric drive, is
Okay.
offline, and your jump drive is offline as well.
I don't see. Okay. I'm gonna hit engineer, but I should have one. I have one in M drive, so I'm gonna add one too.
Okay.
Take your time.
That's-
Just take your time, baby.
Did it go? Didn't go through? Can I try one more time?
Done nothing.
Oh wait, submit. There it is. Sorry. So it's a 6.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me, please. Oh, it's a 6.
Yeah.
Roll a d6 for me, please.
3.
Yeah. So you're if you push on the entire night, you think you may get this thing up and running, but let me ask you, with the roll of 6, are you confident that you can get this M drive up and running in about 6 hours time?
No.
Okay.
Maybe we just tackle it in the morning.
Yeah.
So as you
Hmm.
guys kind of make your way through the ship and you look at something, whoever was doing it, I think Federer said you might have been kind of wandering. Somebody took a bat or something to the 3D printer.
Fucking
All right.
piece of shit.
The various alloys and the resin and everything you need to print is scattered throughout the ship and possibly outside as you guys collected that kind of stuff. So the materials are there, but the printer is down. Whoever's got a mechanics check will need to take a look at it to see what the damage is and whether or not it's fixable or not.
Okay, I'll run it right now.
Yeah, I do not have that. The worst comes to worst, we fly this thing down to where we have our 3D printer.
I'm gonna take off that boon. I'm sorry. Normal. Because I got mechanics plus 2. Me and
So you rolled
Phil got
you rolled
good
6.
mechanics. There you go. 6. Yes, 6.
And you're +2 with mechanics. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where's the +2 coming from, Blake?
That's from being a mechanic rank 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you think you probably can repair this thing. Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
Jeez, everything's taking fucking 6 hours.
Yeah, but it's gonna take you a lot longer than that. You figure you've got at least a day's worth of sort of working on this thing and fiddling some things out and kind of collecting parts and stealing from the coffee maker to get that kind of thing.
Oh, the coffee maker. Hey, but it'll be faster than walking in, coming back up the hill.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think tomorrow morning that's gonna be my job, is to fix and repair this 3D printer.
I'm gonna go over the M drive again in the morning.
Hey,
Rod, are
there
you still
fell.
with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, my leg's hurting real bad. What is your medical training specifically? Like, what would be your your dice modifier on that skill?
+1.
+1. It's gonna take a long time to heal.
Well, Vargers would just amputate.
Yeah, I mean, if we were in a position where I could get a cool robot leg put on there, I'd definitely think about it. But I don't think this is the planet. I want to get that done.
Well,
We
listen,
also cannot print one with 3D
Yeah.
printers down.
yeah.
So as I've figured it out, I'm going to heal 1 hit point per day of rest.
Okay.
at this
Well,
point.
we can fast forward to the morning. And you guys can continue to work on the ship if you choose to. And Fenrir, you can also then continue to work on these probes if you'd like.
That is what I do.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit the M drive another time.
Yep. Go for it.
Well, that works. That's a 10.
Yep. All right.
Oh, never mind.
Oh yes, much better.
So you realize as you're working on this M drive that you're going to need to wait for this 3D printer to go online in order for you to get this thing up and running. But that takes basically a day to do so. Lawndale, you're working on getting this 3D printer going, and Fenrir, you're working on these probes. So go ahead and kind of look to sort of use your sensor roll to sort of.
Fenrir just rolled a 12.
Okay. All right.
I am confident in that roll.
Okay. Yeah. So you're confident in that roll that you've got these probes in a way that you can detonate them, place them properly. You probably think the lava tubes are the best point.
Yes.
Detonate those properly, but you have to be able to kind of reprogram the software to be able to sort of use the software to kind of mimic and build a 3D model of the mountain, and to give you a sense of sort of from a seismic perspective what might be going on there.
Is that sensors or computers?
Sensors now, but computers for somebody else to sort of reprogram the
Now that I have the sensors set.
And so let me just back up. So for all of you, that basically takes a day's work.
Right. Are the probes now ready to put into the lava tubes?
Yes.
All right. Well, I can handle that. All this other mumbo
be
jumbo
careful.
stuff.
Rod, there's still another dog out there.
Well, son of a bitch.
His name's Sparky.
Oh,
He's Sparky.
he likes rations.
And we have fed him rations. He did not attack us outright, so maybe you throw him rations.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
not
think-
a bad idea.
I think it would be bad for you to go alone at the most. Yes.
Don't forget, there's Dell's dead body out there
Sparky's
too.
probably eating that.
So he's probably high on the hog right now with food.
So yes, when we are ready, I am ready to go put probes. I will probably need to tell you where they go.
All right. Well, I'll come with you at least.
Okay.
I'm no use up here.
Maybe you rest up and heal a little bit before we go.
Well, it appears that I'm going to need a hospital or a functioning sick bay for me to get any better. Which
This ship doesn't have a sick bay.
No, it don't. I'm as good as I'm going to get.
All right. Well, you be careful.
Yeah, and you can, and like as you guys were gathering stuff outside and kind of looking inside the ship, anything of use from a medical perspective has basically been trashed as well.
Assholes.
All right. But the good news is, Rod, you get an extra day of healing, and a new day begins in which some of you can go place some probes, and the others can stay put. and
Oh.
work on the ship. If that's
Rod
what
and I go place probes while you guys work on ship.
So was that my day of repairing the 3D printer?
yes,
So now we can start printing out the stuff that we need for the M drive.
yes.
Boom.
Good job. Good job, Lundale.
So very well. So I guess what I'll do, because I guess I'll leave the printing to Derfel. I'll make a check on the jump drive because I have that.
Okay.
That's not what I wanted. That's
All right. So we'll just call this day 2.
I'm getting very nervous.
That's a 10 on J drive check.
All right. So is that a roll you're comfortable with?
Yes, I feel very confident. I've seen this before.
Okay. Then, to the best of your knowledge, your jump drive is active, but it doesn't work exclusively. Obviously, you need maneuver.
Yes, of course, yeah. Now,
all right, Edward, do you want to continue on with your M drive work, or do you want to do something different?
If we have the parts, I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. So roll a d6 for me. Yep. So the parts are printed the part that you printed is printed in 4 hours. So you've got half the day to sort of check out the M drive and install that part. It takes you a couple hours. By the end, closer to like mid-afternoon, you can give it another shot if you'd like.
So roll on M drive again?
Yep.
Okay. 10.
Okay. Same question. Are you confident in that roll that the M drive is up and running?
Yeah, 10's pretty good.
Okay. All right. So both jump drive and M drive. So your drive systems electronics are up and running. You got your power system electronics going. You still have flight control and navigation. You still have life support. You still need to reboot the computer software for the ship. Who's going out to doing probes?
That is Finmerdahl and Rod Stevens.
Okay.
Well, let's get this done.
All right. So talk me through this.
Let me check front door first. I'm going to, are there any weapons on the vessel? Have we found anything in any closets?
I will let you answer that. What do you think these guys would have done?
They would have left us several assault combat rifles and
Yeah, you've got and a grenade launcher. No.
no. Okay,
There's
Like a baseball bat?
I think it's possible they forgot something, a gun somewhere. I don't know. All right.
I mean, I'll take my helicopter
I
thing.
take out my knife, and you have your sword thingy,
Yeah.
and I'll open the hatch and we step out.
Okay. Make a recon check for me.
Yes, I make a recon check.
Both of us get to.
Sure.
Oh, I like that.
I'm sitting on a 7.
Yeah. So,
I will
so
take the
as you guys move out there, what you notice is that the carcass of the dog that you had killed earlier has been sort of dragged away, and you can kind of see it off into the distance, but there's no sign of Sparky.
All right.
Well, I mean, we're off to a good start.
Something occurs to me. How do we get these across the lake?
Well, we're gonna have to put them inside one of the buoyant
Container.
canisters and kind of
Right.
push them across.
And do that same deal. So
Yep,
that's
yep.
what we'll do.
One of the crates, we'll fill them up
Yeah,
with
one or
these.
two of them, however many we need. Yeah.
All right. So you guys, well, you basically can only handle one probe per person. They're that large.
Oh, really? Would they even fit in one of these crates?
Yeah,
then?
you could get them in one of the you can get them in the cooler. You have to do a couple. Like
So we're gonna have to do several. How many probes do we have to put out there?
Well, you have 10 probes to your. You have 10 probes.
Right, but how many do I think it will take to map the area?
Make a census check.
Can I make a sensors check on that? Electronic sensors. Here it is. It's gonna take all 10.
I think
That's all the job we got, Rod.
I think you feel that if you were going to do this right and get the readings that you probably need to use all those 10, and I think you probably also don't know if even that's going to be enough.
All right. So we start with the first two, and I'll try to take it easy on Rod. We'll go to the closest.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. So you guys are able to, again, getting through the water is not that big of a deal because
We got
it's fresh water. There's nothing in it that's biting you or anything like that. It's just getting across to the side of the lake there.
Yeah.
And you're able to keep the probes dry enough, and you're comfortable that you feel confident that you've been able to do so, and you get these the container and two of the probes over there, and you can carry these probes. Each of you can take one probe with you, and you sort of head out. As you kind of make your way away from the lake, and you sort of head out towards. Again, you feel that if you can get within these lava tubes, and if you place these down further enough, you should get a very good reading. As you guys are just basically kind of moving, and each, friend, you would know that you'd want to space these things out a little bit, right? So you're walking away from the lake, and you're giving some direction to Rod, saying, "I'm going to focus on this lava tube to my right. Way over there, a few hundred meters is that lava tube. Maybe you kind of focus on that one." Again, not knowing necessarily what you'll find in these lava tubes, but as you're sort of calling out the directions, you start to feel a tremor of again. And this one lasts a little bit longer than the last one. Say maybe this is 13 seconds instead of 10 seconds, but again, it seems to be a very long 13 seconds.
Yeah, we need to hurry.
I do not
Rod,
like
One
that.
thing you notice as you're kind of looking around, you see a rather large bubble just kind of raise, in the middle of the lake. Bloop, you can hear it bloop, and you turn around, and for the life of you, you feel that the lake just got smaller by maybe a hair. You can see the water there should be no tide in a lake like this, but you can see a little bit of sort of wet dirt around the lake. And I think
we
that's
have a good idea of what is going on.
That's what we'll stop right now, because it's getting too late. I want to get. Hi, I'm Commissar Doug, and thank you very much for watching our video. If you feel so inclined, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. We'd very much appreciate it. And if you feel like wasting even more time, well, then you can join me and Travis the Muppet Hitman on Old as Hell Gamers and Geeks, the podcast dedicated to wasting the twilight years of your life on all things gaming and geek. And for more tabletop gaming and comedy, well, then join Big Nasty B and Robo Ed on Life After the Cover Save. And for the best Warhammer 40,000 podcast, and for the best Warhammer 40,000 community, well, then there's none other than Carl Tuttle and the independent characters. So again, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you on another episode.